Hi, and welcome back to Backstage Pass Rock News. Today we delve into the rock vaults and turn the clock back to 1982. Ozzy discusses what it was like working with Randy Rhoads and how dedicated Randy was to his craft. Ozzy also discusses the night when Randy and Sharon seamstress died in a tragic plane accident that clipped Ozzy's tour bus while he was still in bed and crashed into a nearby house.
Randy was a guy that he didn't know what he wanted to play, but he knew he had to search until he found it. I remember one instant when we were in Ridge Farm recording studio, and I was having problems with the second verse on Flying High Again. You know, I sing the first verse is one, and I wanted to change the second verse, but have it in the same block, you know. So I was going crazy with that, and he was, I listened to this now. It's like, and you know that, oh no. That was an accident because I was supposed to double track the oh no, but I came in one bar late and I said leave it, and then it just kind of like overlapped itself and it fitted perfectly. When it came to the guitar solo, Randy was adamant. He says, "Listen, I've been in that studio, I cannot get the solo." He says, "I'm going to go in there now. I am not coming out. I don't want anyone to come in." He says, "I'm not coming out until I get the solo." He spent 3 days and 3 nights in the studio. Just didn't eat, didn't sleep, then he came out. I always used to know when he'd got one, he'd come up with this big grin on his face, and he would say, "Check this out." My ears flew off, and my hair flew back. It was like, wow.
March 19th, 1982. Touring in support of the Diary of a Madman album, The Hand of Fate made a heartbreaking entry in Ozzy's personal diary. A triple tragedy devastated Osbourne's tour. Ozzy spoke publicly for the first time about the freak private plane crash that killed his tour bus driver, his wardrobe seamstress, and his guitarist, Randy Rhoads.
What happened was we did a gig in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we'd driven through the night from Knoxville, and we were going to do a show with Foreigner down in Orlando. And as it happens, the bus depot is in Orlando, and we had to stop it off at the depot to get some parts for the bus. I think it was a jack or something. And I'd gone to bed very late that night. I was up talking to Randy till about the early hours of the morning. We were talking about, because he wanted to his idea was to go to college and get a degree in classical music. And I said, well, wait until the end of the tour and we'll talk again. We were just having a general rap, And I went to bed at the back of the bus with my wife. The next minute I know, I'm waking up with an almighty bang on the bus. It's like a terrific explosion, and I looked down the other end of the bus, and there was all this broken glass down the other end of the bus, and I said to Sharon, "We've had an accident." I'm still thinking we're on the freeway. So I run down the bus, I look out the window, and we're in the middle of a field, and I'm thinking, I don't know where the hell I am. And I run back, put some pants on, grabbed my wife, and got off the bus, and the bus was virtually cut in half, and what had happened was the driver of the bus also had a private pilot's license, and it had a small airstrip on the bus depot. It's a big area, so he took the guys up to take an aerial photograph of the bus and whatever, and he made an error with one of his judgments and clipped the side of the bus with the wing of the plane and exploded into this big house. And the autopsy said that Randy was killed instantaneously, so it's tragic that he went, but it's nice to know that he didn't suffer at all.
Now, there was, besides your bus driver, who was the pilot of the plane, and Randy Rhoads...
There was my Sharon seamstress woman, a black lady, who'd worked with Sharon for like many years. She was like a second mother to Sharon. And she was a 58-year-old woman with a heart problem, so she wasn't. I got all these rumours that one of your Ozzy's practical joke went wrong and all the rest. There was no clowning around by any of the people, because Rachel, she's 58, she's got a heart murmur. She's hardly wanting to do loop-the-loops and things at that age, and with that condition of her heart. It happens all the time. It's just one of these tragic mistakes that does happen.
Ozzy Osbourne remembers the late Randy Rhoads.
This guy was something very, very special, to the point that when he first joined me, I remember, and you can ask Bob Daisley if you ever see him, and he'll verify this. I turned around to Bob Daisley one day, I says, "You know what? I got this weird feeling. I don't really think this guy's going to make old bones. I just got a feeling." He didn't drink a lot, he didn't take drugs, he smoked cigarettes, he was dedicated to his instrument. Totally. The guy would would every day off on the road, we'd be busting our chops living on a bus. He'd get to the hotel, pick up the Yellow Pages and get a classical guitar teacher to come around and give him a lesson, you know. I mean, the guy was 100, but I had this weird feeling that he wouldn't make old bones, you know. Believe me, I'm not just, because if he was a creep, I'd have said, well, you know, the guy had it coming because he was an asshole anyway. You know. But he wasn't. But you know, he was a special, very special person. I mean, he was. I like to think that he was too good for this world.
Thank you for tuning in, and please hit that like button, it's appreciated. Make sure that you subscribe for more rock-related content.